Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Active Armchairs. My name is Meg Colhane. I'm from Fit and Kicking, and I am here on behalf of Active Launceston, and absolutely thrilled that we can keep you moving, especially on a wet, miserable day outside, where getting outside is obviously quite challenging. So today we've got a session to be able to keep moving, and I'd like to encourage you to join in today and to enjoy some time getting a little bit active with this opportunity to follow someone along. So I'm just going to give you a minute now before we proceed any further to go and collect just a couple of things for us to make sure that we can do a little circuit together today. So I've got 2 cans from the kitchen cupboard. I have got I'll get you to collect either your drink bottle or a washing basket. And it doesn't matter what size your washing basket is. And if you're near a chair or a couch, so actually a third thing. So I've just collected a chair from our living area. And so I'm just going to give you a minute to go and collect those items and come back to us. And for those who don't need to go and collect them because they're right there and handy, then we'll just start a little bit of movement. In fact, we'll start in our chairs to get going. So we can just start a little bit of movement while those people are collecting their things ready. So we would love to welcome anyone who is new today to joining us for Active Armchairs, and a warm welcome back to those who may have done some of this program before, or indeed any of the Active Launceston programs in the past. So it's really nice to kind of feel like we can all do something together from the comfort and the safety of our own homes. Good, just start with some little knee lifts for me. Now as we proceed, I just do want to remind people to work at their own pace and to remember that we're all different. We all have different things to work around. So if you have a little niggle or something that prevents you from doing one exercise, concentrate on what you can do rather than what you can't do today. We also just need to try a few things. So if something doesn't feel right for you, stop and go back to an easier option, or indeed feel free to challenge yourself a little bit today as well. So we'll just give people a moment longer to collect their cans. I've gone back to the good old can of Italian crushed herbs and chickpeas. And I'll be interested to see if people write in and tell us if they've gone with anything else. Condensed milk, perhaps. All right, I'm just going to give you just a moment, as said, to get yourself sorted. And I'll just check that people's messages are letting me know they can see me clearly. It is nice and warm. Hayden's joined us. It is nice and warm, Hayden. I'm really enjoying being inside on a day like this today, but still having some options. Okay, we might begin, everybody. So just, if you can, just start doing some little fast feet for me, where you're sitting up nice and tall in your chair. And as you might have heard me mention before, if you joined us before, try and leave a gap between your back and the back of the chair. It makes us work a little bit harder than letting the chair do all the work for us. Good, when you're ready, just start. I have to move all my equipment out of the way. A little tap in front with your foot. Again, sitting up nice and tall. And I tend to do everything in a little bit of a rush. I'm hoping that at this time is going to let me or allow me to learn to slow down a little bit. So my point is, don't feel like you need to do this at the speed I'm doing it at. Please feel free to go at your own pace. We all need to work to a level that allows us to be comfortable. Well done. When you've got those legs going, let's get those arms a little bit warmer. So we did some of our arm circles yesterday. And so just a reminder that next week we'll be doing active armchair sessions again on Wednesday and Thursday at 11:15. And we'd love for you to join us for those 2 sessions right before we all get stuck into all those Easter eggs. Good, a little bit of a change with the arms into the shoulders and down to the knees. Just getting a little bit of movement, getting those brains switched on as well. Always good to get the mind and the body working together. Good, from here, shoulders up if you can. So reaching up towards your ceiling. I've actually been relegated to the bedroom today. We're a family of 4 We're all at home, and there are people spread out throughout our house doing their various e-schooling and work. Good, into bicep curls now. If you wish to and you feel warm enough, you can always pick up your cans at this point and add those in for a little bit more resistance work. So yes, there's lots happening, and I thought this was the quietest and safest place. I actually quite like the sound of the rain outside today. I think it's quite pleasant, especially when you're inside and you're comfortable. Good. Last little couple. See if you can just leave your arms down by your side. Add a little bit of movement with those ankles. So a reminder that we would love at Active Launceston to see some of your photos or hear from you about how you're finding Active Armchairs, and requests for things that you'd like included in sessions, and generally just to hear any little bits and pieces that allow us all to feel more connected. Good. If you can, just raise your arms to your shoulder height. So for some people, going only a little way will be more feasible. Please just go to a height that you can manage, and feel free to try and go a little higher and see if it feels okay, then drop back down if it doesn't. If you can, try and leave your arms nice and straight. Good. Last couple. Hopefully everyone's feeling a little warmer. Good. We're going to now come to a standing position. If you need to place your chair in front of you for balance and support, please feel free. Otherwise, what I'd like you to do is just to try and transfer your weight from one leg to the other. Again, just a little bit more general movement to get that blood circulating around the body and get us nice and warm before we get into it a little bit further today. I've designed a little bit, I guess, of a circuit just to keep us doing a few different ways of using those exercises. And I think it's really good to incorporate some household items as well. So I'm going to have to get creative next week for what household items, and that's one of the things we'd love to hear from you. What have we got around the house that most people have that we can use to keep moving? Last one, everybody. If you can, just see if you can get your arm and your leg going. This is challenging, so feel free just to use arms or just to use leg. You might find balancing just a bit too much. We concentrate on one thing rather than two if you have to. Good. Changing the arm, the leg over. Well, it's testing me to have to think about arms and legs. Well done, everybody. Good. Few last little calf raises up onto those toes before we move on. So we're going to do a series of 5 exercises. I'm just checking my little cheat sheet down here to make sure I don't miss anything off. I don't want you to feel cheated. And we're going to move from one exercise to the next and then come back to the start so as our circuit continues. So, shake it all out. Take a nice deep breath. If you need a sip of water or just to readjust or make sure you've got all your stuff around you, then do. And then when you're ready, join me. We're going to start with our sit to stands. So arms in front, sitting down onto our chair and standing back up again. Try and check that your toes line up if you drew on the carpet with a pen. Please don't do that. So we want our toes lined up. We want our knees in line with our toes. And of course, we can always put another chair or lean up or lean onto something else to help us keep our balance. Good. You're wondering how many of these we're doing, aren't you? I think I'm up to number 8, so 2 more. And then you're going to want to use perhaps a chair for balance. And we're going to do an exercise for our abductors, which are down the inside of our thigh. So if you stand on one leg and just gently take the leg out to your side and pull it in without your foot touching the ground. Try not to do too big a lift. It's not a swing. You want to actually try and contract those leg muscles and to control the movement coming in. Sometimes I bend my supporting leg just to help me, but I'm trying not to look like the Leaning Tower of Pisa and lean into it at the same time. I think this one is number 10. It's hard to count and talk. And I'm just going to switch my chair over to do my other leg. So now 10 on this leg. And after this exercise, we're going to need to pick up our food cans, ready for the next exercise. Oh, lost count. I always have a rule, if you lose count, you have to start again. But I think we can avoid that rule today if we can. Well done, everyone. Pick up your cans. Remember, when you're picking things up off the ground, to bend your knees and try and leave your chest out and your chin up. So in the next one, if you can manage to hold your cans out to the side of your body and just hold them here. Knees a little bit bent or soft, as we sometimes refer to them as, and then just pull your belly button through to your spine with a nice straight back. So I can hold them at shoulder height, and that's not too bad for me, but remember you can lower the arms down if you need to. And see if you can hold here another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. This is where you'll need your basket or something equivalent of. Again, using a little bit of manual handling, bending the knees. I just want you to pick up your basket and then bring it up to your chest. Touch the basket towards the ground, stand up tall, bring the basket up with nice high elbows towards your chest or your chin. So I'm going to go side on now so you can see a little bit of a different angle of this exercise. So it's a little squat and then elbows high, bring the basket towards the chin and chest. Lovely. If we do 2 more, I think we'll be around that 10 rep mark again. 1 more. Well done. So on the next set, if that was too easy for you, you can always put your drink bottle or your cans into the basket to increase the resistance, to make it a little bit harder. Now the next one, I haven't, I've got lines here that make it a little bit harder, but we're going to go to a wall push-up. So excuse my back for a moment. We're taking the arms out nice and wide behind, out in front of us, bringing the chest in towards and chin in towards our wall. So I'll mend mine so you can see me and hear me more clearly, but I would prefer you to use a wall. It's more stable, and you can generally put your arms out at shoulder height, which is better, and will allow you to rest those hands against the wall. So we're just trying to leave our heels of the feet on the ground if you can. And if you have a look at my back, I'm not leaning forward with my hips, or I'm not out behind with my bottom and leaning in with my chin first. So let your arms do the work. Bend and straighten. Good. 1 more, everyone. Excellent. We are back to the start. So we're back to our sit to stand exercise now. So we're coming back, starting nice and tall, and then arms in front for balance, sit to stand. Remember, a chair in front of you if you need it for balance. Lovely. So we hope today that you have rung your neighbour, hollered over the fence perhaps, and invited them to join us. And that in preparation for next Wednesday's Active Armchairs, you've rung another 2 friends to let them know about this option. 1 more, please. Beautiful. Okay, we're back to our abductor work. So that little leg lift out to the side. So just doing a little lift and controlling the movement. Next Thursday, I might have to try and make our exercise session Easter themed. Treasure hunt around the house, perhaps. Might need somebody else in the household to have hidden the eggs, of course, so it really doesn't make for much of a treasure hunt. Good. 1 more. Change over. Good. Take your time. If you need to sit, stop, rest, feel free to reset, refocus and join back in when it suits you. Lovely. We've got a 2 to go, I believe. Excellent. Coming back, we need our cans of food now, and we're going to, again, just try and hold them at shoulder height. Bend the knees, sit down into it a little bit, and just try and hold our arms here. I'm going to get you to continue that, and you'll hear me counting it out. I just want to check some of these messages, check that you can hear me and see me, and I don't need to adjust anything as we continue on. Great to see the Northern Suburbs Community Centre joining us. Hayden's asking if I've got Explorer socks on. He's a card, isn't he? All right, mate, I've left you there a little bit longer than you expected. You can bring those arms in. For that, I apologise. Well done. We are now onto our drink bottle or our basket or both. So now we're bringing it back to our squat position. Remember, you can put your cans of food in here if you'd like to make this harder. Feet nice and wide, or you can go forward with the feet and knees in the same direction. I like to go a little bit wider for this one. So a little squat, now pulling your basket up towards your chin. So we're doing this circuit for the second time round now, obviously. And a goal would be with a circuit like this to do it 3 times in a row. So that you do each of these exercises 3 times. And that would be a really good goal. Lovely. Got 2 to go. So this is a good exercise for those legs and those glutes or the bottom, as well as a little bit of upper body work. Bend the knees to place your basket back down again. And we're back to our push-ups with the wall. So again, I'm going to use the chair, but please feel free, as said, to place your arms at shoulder height on a wall near you. Take your feet out behind so your heels of your feet are on the ground. And I might just tilt mine up so you can see a better angle. And bend and straighten the arms. Really good way to develop that upper body strength. And we need that just for things like, lifting the groceries, carrying the groceries in bags. Well done. With 1 to go. So at this point, if you were continuing on at home, I would encourage you to do, as I said, a 3rd set of all of those exercises, or take one of the exercises out and put another in that you really enjoy. It's probably good to keep it to about 5 exercises in a circuit rather than 10. Hard to remember, and it makes your muscles work a little bit harder too if there's not a really big gap between the exercises that you are doing. We're going to go into a stretch now, so just from here, just see how you go, taking one leg out in front of you with that leg outstretched and your toe towards the ceiling. Lean forward slightly with the elbow, hands above the knee. Need to know my body parts, don't I? And just see if you can pull that toe further up towards the sky as you're doing this. I'd like to say we have blue skies today, but as said, it's quite nice to have a rainy day inside too if you've got plenty of things to go on with. Certainly feel better after we've done some activity anyway. Beg my pardon. Changing the legs over and leaning forward. So seeing some lovely acts of kindness out there in the community at a time where lots of people are having all sorts of different challenges. And it's been wonderful to see the response of the Launceston community as well. Encourage you to be someone who's spreading positivity, and this is one way to do it. Give someone something practical to do, like joining into some exercise to help make our day better and help us have a more positive mental outlook. Good. From here, just see if you can take your hands to one side of your chair and turn and look over that shoulder. Good. Then from there, we're turning to the other direction. Good. Then bring your hands to the back of your chair, push your chest out and your shoulder blades come together. So we'd love to hear your feedback from your Active Armchairs program today, brought to you by Active Launceston. Good, and push your hands all the way in front of you now. So we've been going live just around 20 minutes now. And you can see it's always easier to pass the time in it with exercise when you have company and know you're not going it alone. Good. From here, just take a nice deep breath. Exhale, breathe out. And again, one more time. And breathing out. I'm about to sign out and say goodbye, but as I said, please join us next week for the last 2 active armchair sessions on Wednesday and Thursday at 11:15 a.m. Please get creative and let us know other household items that we can include next week. You can either set the challenge for me to have to come up with something to do with that household item, or send in your suggestions of things that you've thought of. Until then, take care of yourselves, stay active, and stay connected through programs like this. Take care of yourself.